What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tastes Like Music. Jason here with Joe, reviewing the new Spoon record, Lucifer on the Sofa, their 10th studio album, dropped on Friday. How you feeling about it?
Well, kind of how I feel about all Spoon records, and they are just so consistent. I guess that, kind of has to do with Britt Daniel being like the main, the driving engine of this thing. But every record that they put out, I think has always been 4 stars, always been in my top, 20 of the year. And this really is no different for me. I think it's very good. Spoiler alert. I think I like it better than the last couple. I think everything on this album, and they recorded it they wanted like a live feel to it when they recorded it, not like the last couple where it's kind of cut and paste in the studio. And I really like the way it sounds. Everything's a little dirtier, a little grungier, uh, nice jangly acoustic guitars. I think it's produced great because even though it is kind of like live feel, all the instruments are really clear. They all sound really good. Drums are real crisp and snappy. Everything just seems to be in the right place. And, the songs are good. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything here unexpected. Like, if you heard any number of other Spoon releases, you're not going to be, losing your mind at the sonic variation on this. But just throughout the record, just quality song after quality song. Even the Jack Antonoff co-written one. So I'm impressed. I like it. 4 stars.
I too like it a good bit. I agree that they have been incredibly consistent throughout their career, 10 albums, except I wasn't super high on Hot Thoughts, their last record. A lot of people were, but I don't know. I feel like they're always like a 4.5 in that range for me. Hot Thoughts might have dipped down to like a 3.5. I still thought it was an okay record, but I didn't think it was quite at the level that they normally are. I was thinking like, all right, this is the beginning of the downturn. Spoon's gonna start the slide, but nope, they bounce right back with this one. I think this is an excellent record. Their 10th record, produced by Mark Rankin, Justin Rayson, and Dave Fridman. And I don't know exactly which tracks they all worked on, but I love the overall sound of the record. The guitar tones all over the thing are so good. The drums sound really great. David Fridman has a really particular drum sound, kind of almost like distorted drums a little. And it sounds so good. Just a little bit of grit on everything, and it just works so well. I think in some ways it's a little bit of a back to basics record. I think on Hot Thoughts, maybe it felt like they were trying to force evolution upon themselves a little bit. And here it's just kind of, write good songs and play them. But there is enough, like, it does, like you said, feel like a live in the studio type of thing, but there's enough like production flourishes to keep it really, really interesting. On the track My Babe, there is like these gated cymbals where the cymbals just like disappear. And it's such a small thing. It's in the solo section of the song, but it's something you almost never hear another rock band do. And it's just so cool and interesting. So I really dig all the like little details that they put in, even though it still just sounds like a live rock band. They never lose that. They never start to sound like Imagine Dragons or something, or some pop act. And it doesn't sound like they're trying to be anything other than a rock band, but they do some things in the studio that you just don't hear other rock bands do. And it makes their records really unique and really cool. And I love this. There wasn't really a weak track on it for me. I saw some people discussing in our Discord, which if you're not in our Discord, check it out. Just $1 a month. You can get access to it. I saw some people there talking about the record kind of tailing off a little at the end. And I think it gets a little more melodic and a little poppier and maybe a little more mid-tempo as the record goes along. The really straight ahead rock tunes are loaded towards the front, but I thought everything was really good. I'm going 4.5 stars for this record. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gets a little more mellow toward, not even mellow, but a little more pop oriented. There's a lot of prominent piano on Satellite. The Lucifer on the Sofa, the last track has this like soft 70s keys and horns on it, like a nice prominent drum beat. And I mean, I think it's great. I think the last two tracks are just as strong as anything else. Definitely starts out, like you said, rockier. A lot of like songs built around like relatively simple guitar licks, that kind of repeating patterns, real like bluesy stuff. On Held, which is a cover. The Hardest Cut has like a Texas strut to it. Wild has sort of like a Bono-esque, like reverb, heavy, echoing guitar, little lick that just kind of repeats throughout, and they just kind of build off of them really well. It's, you know, bluesy, but not too bluesy. You know, it kind of just falls into Spoon's own kind of unique world, like Texas kind of alternative rock. So, you know, it's nothing hugely different than what they've done, but I do think, you know, there's no weak tracks on here. There's no, you know, missteps or anything like that. So, you know, real good effort from Spoon. Could be 4.5 for me. This is one that's definitely going to be in the conversation at the end of the year for, you know, maybe not album of the year, but top 10, I think.
Yeah, very well could be. And just a shout out to Britt Daniel too. I think he's almost 51, I think, and there is no sign of like aging rocker syndrome. I mean, he has still got the energy and the fire, and also just the swagger and the confidence. I mean, if I had never heard of Spoon and didn't know who Spoon was, and you told me this was like a new 20-something-year-old band, I would buy that entirely. Like there's, you know, no sign of slowing down or fatigue in any way. It's just really, really good.
I didn't know he was that old, and I'm usually like you know, bands have like a 10-year shelf life for me. Like once you get into like your zone, you got 10 years to be great, and then, you know, inevitably bands just start going downhill. The fact that their debut album came out in '96, and then they're still doing this, or he's still doing this all these years later, is one of the more impressive feats of rock stardom of the new millennium.
So if you've heard the record, let us know what you think of it. Drop it down in the comments. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. As I mentioned, if you're interested in our Patreon and joining the conversation on Discord, check out the link to the Patreon in the description as well. Also Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our merch store down there. A lot to check out. Hope you do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.